Hey everyone, thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video today. I'm so excited because I am finally getting around to doing my best of beauty for the past year, 2016. So yeah, I am gonna break it into 3 different videos. Before I jump into the actual makeup, I have to tell you guys thank you. If you're here today watching my video, thank you so much for being here and sticking with me. I know my channel's been really random, a little bit different than just the normal beauty stuff because my life has changed drastically in the last year and a half. I was pregnant for most of, no, not most of it, about half of the year, and then I had my baby girl Josephine, or Jojo, so I became a first-time brand new mom. And yeah, we just recently moved, living in a hotel. If you guys didn't know, I have other videos that explain all about that if you want to check those out. I'm just so sincerely thankful and grateful for each and every one of you for watching, for you guys that comment on my Instagram and like my pictures and follow me on Snapchat, which I am more active on there now. Just really want to sincerely thank each and every one of you who have stuck around and have kind of stayed with me as I evolve in my life, or kind of grow as I became a first-time mom and just kind of grow and evolve. I'm just thankful to have you guys here, so hope you guys will continue to join me in the future. Now it is time to share the makeup. So I'm gonna start with foundation, or actually, you know what, I should start with primer because that goes on first. First up is a redundant oldie but goodie, all-time favorite. It is the Murad Invisibler Perfecting Shield Broad Spectrum SPF 30. If you guys have been with me, you guys know that I've been absolutely obsessed with this ever since it came out. This is probably like my second one, or yeah, it's probably my second bottle. If you haven't heard my spiel on this, it does say it's supposed to treat, blur, and protect. And I just love this. It's like dimethicone, silicone type filling. It does come out clear. And it just feels so good on the skin. It even, you can probably see how it kind of just softens. I love it for the texture. As a dry skin person, I just feel like if I do have dry patches or even wrinkles, it just helps, like, the shield. I don't know, it just kind of makes a shield over that dry patch or wrinkle, and it just helps my makeup that I put on over it just go on so much smoother. I feel like I've literally talked about this stuff for 20 hours altogether. This other primer, this is the IT Cosmetics by Pores primer, and it says the color, I just noticed that it says neutralizing translucent, but it comes with a pump. You know, IT Cosmetics is like jam-packed with good for you like skincare benefits, and it is white but it goes on translucent, so you can't see it. I mean, that's just like, you can even see it smooth, so I can see. Can you guys see the difference? This is with the IT Cosmetics and this is without. See how much more smooth that looks. I was lucky enough to receive this from IT Cosmetics. They did send it to me, and when I first got it, I was like, I'm not gonna like that. I'm gonna have to give that away to an oily skin friend that has pore issues, because I don't have pore issues because I'm dry. Because it said bye pores, I was like, that's gonna be not for my dry skin. But turns out I actually love it. Not necessarily for filling in pores, because like I said, I don't really have, like, pores are not my main concern, but it does kind of fill in my fine lines and wrinkles that I have, let's just be real, up over my face. You guys probably can't tell because I have somewhat flattering, forgiving ring light behind the camera there. This makes your skin feel so silky smooth, and I'm just so pleasantly surprised with this one. I had to share it with you. And then next up, I have the MAC Strobe Cream. This is one of the new, like, colory ones. This is the pink, the colory ones. They came out with Strobe Cream that's different little colors, but to me, it's such a not very noticeable difference. This is the pink one, and it just goes on like that. It gives the skin a slight iridescent, just youthful glow. And I use this sometimes when I'm super dry. I will just use this as a primer. I'll actually use a moisturizer, and then before I go in with makeup, I'll use this as a primer because that's how dry I am, especially in the wintertime. The Strobe Cream works absolutely beautifully under makeup, whether you use it in addition to a moisturizer or use it as a primer. I mean, you're not going to want to use this plus a moisturizer plus a primer if you're super oily. It might be too many layers for you, but I just love it. I mean, you can use it as a really subtle highlight just on the cheekbones. Strobe cream is an absolute must-have in my makeup collection. About half of the year I was pregnant, and with that I got some darkness on my skin. I'm gonna really F up what that's called. Is it melasma? Where you just get like dark pregnancy spots or whatever. I'm probably screwing up that name, but anyway, because of that, I needed some wham bam in your face, full coverage foundation that wouldn't dry me out, and that's really hard to find, in my opinion. So the Estee Lauder Maximum, what's it called? The Maximum Cover Double Wear Camouflage Makeup for Face and Body. It looks like that, comes in a little squeezy tube. Now, I have mine in the shade 1 in 3 Creamy Vanilla, which is the lightest shade, and it is that neutral undertone, which is what the N stands for, I'm pretty sure. And it's just too dark for me because I'm literally like white. Don't let the bronzer that I have on fool you. I am pale. So it's too dark, and that's one thing that I hate about this line. The only thing I hate about it is they have like 5 or 6 shades only. So what I do is I take some white foundation, and I've been favoring the Body Shop Shade Adjusting Drops in the lightning shade. It is just some white foundation, and I find that this doesn't really take away the full coverage or change the consistency too much. Just like these little drops of the foundation. Now, if you guys have been around my channel for a little while, you might have heard me chirp about the MAC Face and Body foundation in the white color, and I used to use that all the time to mix with my darker foundations. But if you know that foundation, you'll know that it's water. It's almost all water. I think it's like 80% water based, so it's super liquidy and runny, and I found that it would shear out the coverage of the foundation that I mixed it with. So that's why I've been favoring the Body Shop, basically the white foundation is what I call it. So absolutely love that. And then another foundation that I'm obsessed with, but the shade that is my right undertone and that matches me is too dark. What do you know? So this is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow, and the shade that has the best undertone, the lightest shade that has the best undertone, is the shade 202, and that is the Creamy Natural. I have it in the 201, which is the lightest shade in this range, and that's just almost like Pepto-Bismol pink on me. It's just not a good look for me, so I just mix that with that, mix myself up a little cocktail and slap it up on my face, and I'm good to go. I do actually have a video, I think it's my last Get Ready With Me video, where I use these two together, so you guys can check that out. And this stuff is amazing. It lasts forever. It's just the most beautiful, lightweight finish. I think it's full coverage. You can definitely get it up to full coverage, or you can shear it out. I prefer to use this with a brush, a synthetic like buffing brush, just because it's faster that way. Pro Glow is the name, right? It's not a dewy wet finish. It's just so radiant and just flattering on the skin. So now this foundation is a foundation that I will probably always have or want to have in my stash. This is the MAC Studio Fix Fluid SPF 15. Looks like that. I mixed 2 shades together, NC 15 and then NW 13. This is the NC 15. It's just a titchy too dark. So I do mix in a little bit of NW 13, which usually with MAC, I definitely stay away from NWs. You can see even in the bottle there that the NW on this formula, this color, the 13, is not super pink at all. It is more of a neutral. So yeah, I mix those together. I just cannot be without this because I just know every time I use it, regardless of my skin, whether my skin is like dehydrated or dried out or whatever, it looks good. It truly looks good. It stays all day. It's lightweight in my opinion and very buildable to full coverage. I feel like such a high maintenance poodle because I have so many foundations that were all my favorites of the past year, but they were. You guys understand, you know, you have different foundations for different occasions, daytime, going out, long wear, whatever. So anyway, next up is the Maybelline Super Stay Better Skin Foundation. Mine is in the shade 10 Porcelain. This is just such a nice foundation. I feel like it just gives like a natural finish. It's not matte, it's not dewy. It's just kind of like, I don't know, demi. I don't know if that's an actual finish, but definitely buildable to medium. You can get full coverage out of it. This stuff is very, very long wear. I think, well, that's why it's called Super Stay. Probably makes sense. I love it. So I love it on its own, but I love to mix it in with other foundations that aren't the most long wearing to get them to be long wearing. Yeah. So one that I like to mix this in with, or I do wear this by itself sometimes, and I'll tell you when and why. So the It Cosmetics Your Skin But Better CC Illumination SPF 50. I have mine in the shade Fair. This is like a jumbo size, and you guys are probably all familiar with this stuff. Definitely you can get full coverage. You can put it on with your fingers. You can really slap it on super fast and it looks good. The only downside is that it just doesn't have the longest stain power. It does break down for me probably around like 5 or 6 hours, which totally sucks. But sometimes, you know, I don't even put on foundation or put on my makeup till later in the day. And then if I'm not like out all night, you know, just running errands maybe in the afternoon, that's totally fine. I don't need it to last like 18 hours. But if I do want to prolong the stain power of that, I just like will mix it in with a long wear foundation, something along those lines. All right, so it's finally time to move on to the next category, which is concealer. And first up, I actually don't have a concealer. I have a corrector. This is the Becca Backlight Targeted Color Corrector in the shade Papaya, which is that red shade. And I have tried the, I think it's the peach one that is supposed to be for lighter skin tone, color correcting lighter skin tone. But when I was pregnant, and even now, if I don't get enough sleep or my allergies are really bad, I have like really horrendous dark circles. And I just found that this, out of all of it, or out of all the colors, was the best at actually neutralizing and covering them up. So it is that red color. It's like a reddish orange, and it basically just neutralizes them. And I go over it with concealer, and I did demo this in, I think, that Get Ready With Me video that I talked about previously. I use this almost like every time I wore makeup in the past year, like heavy, not heavy, but like a full-on makeup look, and I barely put a dent in it because a little bit goes such a long way. It's just super emollient, and it's not drying under the eyes. And y'all know that 2016 was like super popular for color correcting, and I definitely got on board with that trend, and I continue to use that when necessary. It's just really great stuff. Now it's time for actual concealers. I will probably talk about the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in every like favorites ride or die video that I ever do, because it's just my number one. I like other concealers, but this is just the easiest, no fuss. Like, I just know it's going to turn out, it's going to be good. I'm going to be good to go. And I have two shades. I don't know where my other shade is. I use the shade Vanilla for under the eyes because it has a little bit of a pink tone that helps to brighten. And then if I need some on my face, I use the shade Chantilly Light number 1. And if you're not familiar, the doe foot applicator looks like that. You guys, this stuff is good for like all skin types. If you have like a blemish that's kind of gross but you want to cover it up, this stuff will go on the blemish, and you can, you know, apply it with your finger or, you know, a brush, whatever you want to do, but it's not going to make the blemish look super cracked and like cakey and nasty, but it will cover it. At least in my experience, when I used to work on clients back in the day at Sephora, this stuff never failed. Obviously it's great for dry skin on really super minimal makeup days. When I even wear like a complexion product, I'll put some of the vanilla under my eyes. I'll do rainbows on roses and whiskers on kittens. So rainbows on roses and then whiskers through your lines, and then I'll just blend it out with my hands, and that's my complexion for the day. So I just can't even, I love it. I will always have that. If they ever discontinue it, I will be so devastated. And then I had some big love for these Makeup Forever Ultra HD Invisible Cover Concealer. I was pretty much obsessed with these when they first came out, and for a long time. And I have the shade R22, which is more of a pink, somewhat of a pink cast, and then also the Y23. And I would kind of mix those for under the eyes, or just use the R color, R for red, cool tone, to kind of brighten up under the eyes, and then Y23 for skin tone. These are, a little bit goes a long way. I'll tell you that much. And it's a squeeze tube. I'll try to show you without squeeze. That is gonna be way too much. They're just so creamy and really great coverage, very satisfying on the skin, under the eyes. I have dry skin all over my face, and my under eyes is no exception. And then another concealer slash correcting, brightening type item that I will always want to have in my collection is the Maybelline Dream Lumi. And this one's in the shade Ivory, but I think I prefer the Radiant color better, because the Radiant is more of that pinky peach, but the Ivory is a little bit of a peachy too, so it does a great job of kind of brightening up under the eyes. This is something that I would use in conjunction with concealer, just because it doesn't give enough coverage for my under eyes personally on its own, but it does help to brighten, like if you mix it with a fuller coverage concealer. This is probably the only category where I surprise myself, and I actually only have one to show you from the category, and it's the blush category. And my favorite from the whole year is the CoverGirl True Blend Blush. This is in it's like the #1. They have 1, 2, and 3. This is supposed to be for like lighter skin. It's called Light Rose 100. Oop. And this is just the most flattering, like peachy pink blush on fair skin. You know, it's not going to be the most clown pigmented, but you know, I don't necessarily find that that's actually a good quality in blush, because if you get a little heavy-handed, which I do, it's like bam, you know, clown cheeks. This is just so beautiful. It has the slightest sheen to it, so it's very flattering. Let me actually put some of that on. I already have on the Papa Don't, is it Papa Don't Peach, the Too Faced Papa Don't Peach blush, which is more of like a orange terracotta. And this is just gives such a nice youthful glow. I mean, like I said, it's not super overly pigmented, so you might need to build it up to see it on camera, but in real life, in person, it's just such a beautiful blush. So let's go ahead and jump into kind of bronzing and contouring. So for actual bronzing, I don't have an actual favorite from the past years. I have all-time favorites, but none that I really used predominantly in the last year. I mean, I love Bobbi Brown Golden Light, I love NARS Laguna, but not an actual favorite for this year. Kind of a bronzing favorite, but it's not technically a bronzer, are the Makeup Geek contour powders, and it's just those 4 bigger ones. I use these mostly for contour. I will mix the warm and the cool shades together, because let me just tell you a little bit about these if you're not familiar. So they came out with these contour palettes, pans, these contour products, and they have a warm and a cool shade for porcelain, fair, medium, dark, maybe deep. So for every single, basically a medium and a warm for any shade, like every shade range, every skin tone. These are very pigmented, so it's really easy to get heavy-handed on them, but the good thing about it is they blend out really nice, pretty easily. So I get heavy-handed with it a lot, and then I blend it out. It's easy to blend out. It's a good formula. I think I just chipped off some of my makeup. So absolutely love those. Love that you can buy whichever one you want and customize it. You don't have to get a whole palette of contours that, you know, you're only going to use 2 out of the whole bunch. So absolutely love that. And if you're curious, these 2 other ones are Anastasia contour colors. And then I do have 2 cream contouring products, and these I do categorize them or consider them to be my daytime really light makeup contouring products that just really easily and naturally and beautifully blend or slim down my face and blend out very easily, and they don't look like there's makeup on my face. Like, it doesn't look like a harsh contour, which today you can see like I have some cheek stuff going on, but these are pretty undetectable. The first one is the ColourPop sculpting stick in the shade Dove. Oh no, it looks like it screwed up in there, and then oh no. So it looks like that. They have quite a few colors, but this is the one that I found works the best for my coloring. It looks the most shadowy, which is obviously what you want in a contour. And so I love that. So I'll just be like boop, boop, boop on the jawline, blend it out. I'll actually show you the brush that I blend it out with. This, I will mention it in my brush favorites, but this is actually like I love this brush for blending out cream contour. So I'll just do it and then I'll just literally, it doesn't take any effort. This is the Royal in Lang Nickel Complexion brush, synthetic bristles. This is also great for foundation. It's very similar to the Real Techniques buffing brush, I believe, but I think the buffing brush, maybe they changed it, but I feel like that you can only buy like in a kit of brushes, whereas this one you can buy by itself. I do have, I think it's still active, a coupon code for you guys. It's not affiliate or anything, but it is a code if you want to save. I'll have that below. ColourPop, as you're probably familiar, is super affordable. I believe these are $5 or $6. And then the other one that I like, and I don't know which one I like more. I don't know, I like them both. This is the Pixie by Petra, the Multi Balm Sheer Sculpt. So the Multi Balm, that's the Multi Balm Pixie, and that's the, I mean, you definitely don't need them both. I just enjoy both of them. The Multi Balm, they actually have this in other colors as well, like pinky reddy colors. So the idea is that you can use it on your cheeks and your lips. Multi Balm. I did not like the other ones, the colored ones, but I love this because, you know, I just put it in those places to slim down my face as I've been losing weight. Who doesn't want to look thinner? And doing this is a really sneaky way to do it because these are honestly like undetectable if you do it right. Now is my favorite part of the video because we're going to talk about highlighters. Highlight on fleek. So the first one I have to mention because I wore it to death. It is the Makeup Geek with Kathleen Lights, her highlighter palette. I mixed these two colors together for a cheek highlight. They look so much darker in the pan than they actually are on the face, so don't let that fool you if you can still get your hands on this. And this one, obviously, well, not obviously, but it's a little too dark for my vampire skin, but it's a beautiful like light bronzy shade that I use as an eyeshadow. My feet fell asleep, so I'm sitting very awkwardly. I'm on the floor because there's really no filming space. There's no space at all in this hotel. Anyway, besides the point. These, the Lord Geller Baked Gelato Swirl Illuminator. And I love, well, I probably would love any of these, any of the colors they have, because I love the formula and obviously the packaging is so cute. This is Gilded Honey, which definitely had its like shining moment of popularity. And then Ballerina. Ballerina is probably like my favorite just because I find that the pinky tone is a little more flattering on my fair skin, but I like to mix those together. So you might know about me that I'm a little bit obsessed with Becca Shimmery Skin Perfectors. Well, a lot of Becca products I'm obsessed with. They just do it, they do it up right, but they're basically their highlighters, the Shimmering Skin Perfectors Pressed. I probably have these in like every single video, every favorites video. I bet they were in last year's video, but the two shades that I've used the most this year is Champagne Pop, which is Jaclyn Hill's collab with him. And I know not everybody thought this would work on fair skin, but I didn't have any problem with it. But if you do think it's too light, you can mix it with probably my all-time favorite Shimmering Skin Perfector, which is Pearl, because it's white. Because y'all know, when you're fair, it's hard to get a highlight that is popping and noticeable, because a highlight needs to be like your skin tone or a little lighter, and it's hard to come by when you're, you know, vampire white. So this is beautiful. I use this Pearl color, which again is right there. I mix this with any highlight that I might find to be too dark. So I love mixing it with Champagne Pop. It's just absolutely beautiful. So if you're fair, or if you have some darker highlights that you may not be able to pull off or don't think you can, get this, because you can really mix it in with anything and just customize it. I get the most use out of this one, although I love all the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfectors. So I think last for this whole video and probably my favorite. These two products, or they're the same products in two colors. I fell fast and hard in love with them, and they didn't even come out until towards the end of the year, so I feel like a faker for putting them in this video. But you guys, I freaking love these. These are the Makeup Forever Pro Fusion Light. As far as I know, they only have two colors, and I love both colors. I love mixing them together. This is the color 02, which I can't really wear on its own, like being fair. I feel like the whole video I'm talking about like how fair I am. Hopefully that doesn't get too annoying. Anyway, this is the 01. So I can wear this one by itself. It's a beautiful, beautiful, like just ballerina light pastel pink color. It's so flattering on fair skin. And then I just want to show you. This is the 0. I don't even know where to go. This is the 02. It wants to focus on my face. But what I like to do, which you guys probably know, is mix them together. Which is right there. And actually that's the highlight. These two mixed together is what I have on today and pretty much every other day since I got them. And I have it down my nose there. Let me put a little bit on my cube as well. Yeah, so we'll go with it. I even used the pink one as inner corner and brow bone highlight. You guys, these are the most skin-like finish highlight ever. Like, they just blend in your skin. They are one of the only highlights that, in my experience, don't bring out like a lot of skin texture. The only thing about these that disappoints me is the fact they only have two colors. So Makeup Forever, please come out with more because I need them all. You guys have to check these out. Definitely like the highlight of highlighters. Okay, so I totally lied. I actually have another highlighter that I have to share with you. This is the Ofra highlighter in the color Blissful. And they have a few different colors that like are in this kind of sunshine wheel type print. And this one is like a rose gold, like a light pale rose gold. Now I can wear this on its own, but let me go back to preaching about the pearl highlighter from Becca. When in doubt, add some pearl and make it more flattering on my fair skin. So this is the Ofra Blissful. I don't know how this is focusing. I'm using my little like vlogging camera just because I don't have the space for my regular setup. But anyway, and then you mix some of the pearl on there and look at that, it's just perfect. Rewind a little bit because I totally forgot to talk about my favorite powder because I don't have it out here because I lost it. I don't know where it is, somewhere here in the hotel, I hope. But it is the, you might have heard of it, but not a lot of people talk about it, so you might not know what it is. But it's the RCMA No Color Powder. Everybody talks about it, everybody loves it. It's freaking amazing. I use it with a damp sponge to set my under eyes or to set my whole, I mean, it's just amazing. You guys know. I'll list it below if you haven't checked it out. But anyway, yeah, that is, I hope, I'm gonna make that the cutoff. So that's everything. Thank you guys, as always, so very much for watching. I hope you'll come back, check back, and join me when I post the other parts of this best of beauty series, video, whatever you want to call it. I will have those up ASAP. If you're not subscribed and you enjoyed, I would love to have you here as part of my channel. And yeah, thank you guys. You guys know. Thank you for watching and taking the time. I'll see you guys next in part 2 for eyes and lips. Bye.